Okay, we'll call the meeting to order, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Danko?
Here.
Gary?
Here.
Reed?
And we will have a request for him to participate remotely based due to health reasons.
Shire?
Here.
Mayor Beeman?
Here. Need a motion and second to allow Councilman Dave Reed to participate.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Geary and Mr. Danko with the second. Clerk, call the roll.
Danko?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Shire?
Aye.
Mayor Beeman?
Aye. Okay, I will just try him from here and put him on speaker instead of coming around in front.
Hello.
Okay, Councilman Reed, we just voted to allow you to participate remotely. So you're on now. Okay, are there any changes to the agenda?
I don't have any.
Okay, then I will go through our proclamation for Sexual Abuse Awareness Month. This is an annual proclamation for the month of April. Partnering with Safe Journeys for free confidential services to more than 123 survivors of sexual violence and their supportive people in 2024 in LaSalle and Livingston counties. Streator is an important partner in Safe Journeys' vision to create a community where people thrive in safe and healthy relationships. Therefore, be it resolved that on this 15th day of April 2026, the City of Streator proclaims the month of April 2026 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Okay, we'll open the floor for public comment. If you have a comment, you're pin a little over for the feedback. If you have a comment for council, please come to the podium and state your name. Okay, seeing none, we'll move to new business. Item 1, Resolution 2026-14, a resolution appropriating the obligation of motor fuel funds for engineering design services in connection with the Park and Builder Street Bridge Replacement Project in the City of Streator, counties of LaSalle and Livingston, Illinois. Get a motion and second.
So moved. Second.
Discussion.
Mayor Council, thank you. So this is a follow-up from the committee of the whole or meeting a couple weeks ago. So this will be appropriating the $99,000 in MFT funds to design the park and builder bridges, which were the subject of the federal grant from the Hood's office. Number 1 is to appropriate the MFT funds, and then number 2 is to award the contract.
Okay. So we discussed this 2 weeks ago at the PES meeting. Anything further?
I think I had.
Okay, clerk, call the roll, please.
Danko?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Reed?
Aye.
Shire?
Aye.
Mayor Beeman?
Aye. Item 2, Resolution 2026-15, a resolution awarding a contract to Hutchinson Engineering, Inc., Jacksonville, Illinois, for engineering design services in connection with the Park and Builder Street Bridge Reconstruction Project in the counties of LaSalle and Livingston, Illinois. Get a motion and second, please.
So moved. Second. Second.
I'm going to Councilman Geary with the motion and Shire with the second. Any discussion? And clerk, call the rolls, please.
Danko?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Reed?
Aye.
Shire?
Aye.
Mayor Beeman?
Aye. Item 3, Resolution 2026-16, a resolution authorizing the purchase of a new John Deere 4x4 mower from Heritage Tractor, Streator, Illinois, for the Department of Public Works, City of Streator. Get a motion and second, please.
So moved. Second.
Okay, Councilman Shire with the motion and Danko with the second.
So as I outlined in the memo, we have, I think 5 of those mowers at current time. None of them is newer than 2012, I do believe. The oldest 2 are from the early mid-2000s. One of them has a bad radiator in it. It costs $1,500 to $2,000 worth of parts to repair that mower. Not worth putting that in. It's probably worth $200 in scrap at this point. Most of the mowers have over 4,000 hours on them. They've been beaten, welded together, and everything else. So this is just a general replacement for mowers that we need for mowing ditches and any of the places where we have hills. The new zero turns that we have that make us a lot faster with mowing don't necessarily work well on hills, so we still need a few of these mowers running. We will not be getting rid of the current mower. The dealership won't even take it on trade. It's so low value, so we'll hang on to it for parts because we have one other mower of the same vintage that has some parts that we may need.
All right, any further comment or question? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Danko,
Aye.
Geary,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Shire,
Aye.
Mayor Beeline.
Aye. Item 4, Resolution 2026-17, a resolution authorizing the purchase of an F-250 2026 for the City of Streator Public Works Department from Morrow Brothers Ford, Greenfield, Illinois. Can I get a motion and second, please?
So moved. Second.
Okay, Councilman Shire with the motion and Geary with the second.
So once again, this is just another piece of equipment, that we need to keep a better rotation of vehicles down there. We only have really, this is only the second new vehicle that we've purchased for Public Works since 2019. Most of the trucks down there are 2012 or older. A lot of them are rusted out, a lot of miles, a lot of hours. Just need to be replaced. We have a couple of vehicles sitting down there right now, that plus some other equipment, surplus equipment that we have that I'm going to try to put together a auction sale this summer. So we don't have anything worth. Once again, we don't have anything that's worth a trade in on anything on this truck. One thing I noted on there, I had to revise this memo, that one thing that's been lacking down there is, safety and speed, just for moving things around. We needed a lift gate on the truck. So I had it on there, the equipment budget, we have funds in there for that, so. Do you have any questions?
No further comment or question, then I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Danko,
Aye.
Geary,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Shire,
Aye.
Mayor Beeline.
Aye. Item 5, Resolution 2026-18, a resolution authorizing the execution of the First Amendment to the intergovernmental agreement with the Long Point Fire Protection District concerning ambulance services. Get a motion and second, please.
So moved. Second.
Okay. Geary with the motion and Dingle with the second. Chief Byrd?
To our third ambulance, having the ability to respond either basic life support or advanced life support. We made an addendum to the contract with the Long Point Fire Protection District to make sure they were okay with that response, which they have acknowledged that they are. And we also extended the agreement out to 2030 with no changes in the financial agreement terms.
Okay, any comment or question? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Danko,
Aye.
Geary,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Shire,
Aye.
Mayor Beeline.
Aye. Item 6, Resolution 2026-19, a resolution authorizing the execution of the First Amendment to the intergovernmental agreement with the Reading Township Fire Protection District concerning ambulance services. Can I get a motion and second, please?
So moved. Second.
Okay, Councilman Dinko with the motion and Shire with the second.
This is the same adjustments to the agreement we had with Long Point. Again, Reading Fire Protection District is okay with the VLS ambulance coming if that's what it is. Again, we extend the agreement out with no financial changes.
Comment or question? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Danko,
Aye.
Geary,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Shire,
Aye.
Mayor Beat.
Aye. Okay, item 7. Dave doesn't want a lot of recognition, but I just wanted to put this on here. This will be his last official council meeting with the city of Streator, as he's retiring at the end of the month. And so we thank you for 7 years. It'll be 7 years at the end of the month of service to the community.
Well, I'd like to extend my appreciation for the opportunity to serve Streator. Streator is a special place in my heart. The people here are really great to work with. It's an amazing community. Obviously, we have struggles, everyone knows, due to the closure of some industries and just general economic struggles, but that's not unique in the Midwest and communities like Streator. We're in the same boat as a lot of other places, and I think we're holding our own. And, again, on behalf of my family, I appreciate the opportunity to serve you. And it's been a long time coming. I started as an intern in 1984 for the village of River Forest in '86 in January. They hired me full-time right after I graduated. And so 40 years in local government, with the exception of about 2 years where I worked as a lobbyist for the home building industry in Greater Chicago. So, worked in 2 states. So, my wife and I, our kids are grown. They're in their mid to late 20s. And so we don't have a lot of plans, probably just hanging out and do some traveling. So, we'll see what unfolds. So again, thank you for the opportunity to serve.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go into discussion items. So item 1, we had at our committee of the whole meeting, property purchase on West First Street. Any more thought from council on that one? Do we want to ask the park board officially if they meet next month?
I see no issues.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So authorized to move forward?
That's what I would like to see, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Mr. Reed, any issues with that?
Well, I think anytime you have an opportunity to buy property, you should do it. And especially property that is adjacent to our river greenway trail, so it might not ever come available again, so I think we should buy it.
So
Agreed.
Yep.
we'll proceed forward.
Well, I'll reach out to the owner and our attorney will have to
We're gonna-
prepare the paperwork.
And we'll have to put an official vote at a future meeting.
Yeah, but we have a contract to present. Well,
Okay, discussion item 2, the Canteen Memorial. Just for an update on that, as you know, it's starting to show a lot of wear. I do have a conceptual design for that. I'm gonna approach, there's a fund left over with some finances from the original project. So I'll talk to the caretaker of that fund and show the new design. If we do need to raise money to get the project over the top of what's there, I've talked to Streetscapes, the Streator Wall Dogs, and they're willing to use the 501c3. It's a nonprofit for art and beautification. So continue moving forward. I don't have a real design to show you. There's a couple more things to work out, but that's coming. So we are working on it. And if we can, it'd be a really nice 250th anniversary project.
Yes.
So, okay. Item 3 is been hitting the news lately. Building Up Illinois Developments. This is a proposal or a House bill, and there's corresponding legislation in the Senate down in Springfield. I'm gonna ask that we send kind of the summary of the changes proposed in this bill to our plan commission. And then next month, the Illinois Municipal League has a resolution, model resolution opposing this bill. So I have plan commission weigh in and then bring that to the next council meeting. This is taking a lot of the authority away from counties and municipalities and moving it to the state, as far as planning and zoning. So some of the big ones that you would see, the goal is to make housing more affordable. But what it's doing is pushing accessory dwelling units or kind of tiny houses. If you have, depending on the size of a lot, if it's a single family, zoned for single family dwellings, and the lot is between 2,500 and 5,000 square feet, you can have 4 dwelling units, 5 to 7,500, 6. Lots that larger than 7,500 square feet would be permitted to have up to 6 dwelling units. So a standard 75 foot by 100 foot lot could have up to 8 units on it. Which I'm all for tiny home neighborhoods, but I think you have to do planning and infrastructure to match. Now you have a single family home with 8 families possibly using the same sewer, same parking, same all sorts of things, water service. And I think just allowing that carte blanche across the state without having some say in Streator is an issue for me. I think we need to be able to look at that and say, does it make sense in this neighborhood or not? So other changes, there's automobile parking requirements. Minimum parking requirements are banned for residential dwellings under 1,500 square feet. We can't require any parking requirements for affordable housing projects, assisted living, ground level, non-residential spaces and mixed-use buildings, and any building converting from non-residential to residential use. It also takes some of the building inspections out of our hands. So if all of a sudden we get a lot of projects at once and we cannot do an inspection within 2 days, that developer or homeowner can hire a third party to do the inspection, and we have really no right to review or inspect. So just seeing some of the changes, again, not that we want to overzone or overplan, but I think we need to keep some control locally. I'm a big proponent of trying to keep as much control as we can locally and make decisions for Streator that impact us. So also that's Plan Commission. There's a lot of information in the packet, but just not one that I want. The resolution opposing it is in the packet, so you can review that and just IML's trying to get communities and counties together to oppose and pass this. They say we have time, so I think this is going to be coming up more and more as people really dig into what the changes are going to be.
On the county level, the state legislature twice already has severely restricted county ability to regulate wind projects, solar projects, and now battery storage projects. So there is a history in the state legislature to usurp local control over land use. And so this is an important issue and you need to act accordingly.
And another single stairways. That was another item of this where we can't require 2 stairway exits as long as the building is less than 6 stories tall. And they have a sprinkler system. So you're kind of stuck with 1 exit if you're on an upper floor. So again, we want to look at the plans and make decisions that we think is best for our community.
You know, kind of an unintended consequence of that. So the developer has to decide, do I put my money in putting in the second stairwell, or do I put my money into a sprinkler system? Sprinkler systems are very, very expensive. So that in and of itself might preclude some property developers from proceeding because of the cost of the sprinkler system.
More to come, but
More to come.
more to come on that one. Okay, we'll go on to item 9, mayoral appointments. Do you want to present these individually, or can I layer them all into one appointment?
Whatever's your preference.
Okay. Well, I will do 2. So I would like to present for council the following appointment. Effective May 1st, interim city manager as current fire chief Gary Bird. I get a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Geary with the motion and Mr. Reed with the second. Any discussion? And I know Chief Bird is ready to retire at some point himself this year, and he's gonna bridge that for a month or maybe more, depending on how our hiring process goes. But we appreciate his willingness to help us out for a little bit. So, okay. Any other comment or discussion? Then clerk call the roll, please.
Danko,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Shire,
Aye.
Mayor Pete.
Aye. I'd also request the following for appointment for the Streator Parks and Open Spaces Board. Tim Martin and Nora Sedlak, reappointing them for a term ending December 31st, 2030. Get a motion and second.
So moved. Second.
Okay, Councilman Danko with the motion and Geary with the second. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Danko,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Shire,
Aye.
Mayor Pete.
Aye. Okay, we'll go to the consent agenda. You get a motion and second to approve the consent agenda with a fund warrant total of $2,010,042.52. We'll also be approving minutes of the council meetings from March 4th and March 18th, 2026, as well as financial reports for March 2026.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Geary with the motion.
Second.
And Danko with the second. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Danko,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Shire,
Aye.
Mayor Pete.
Aye. City official comments? Start.
Mr. Plyman, thank you very much for what you've done for the city, and I appreciate your professionalism. I wish you best in your retirement. That's a very big achievement. Congratulations.
What he said. Thank you though for your service.
And I'll third it, is good luck camping and keeping that camper in condition to go.
Yeah, Dave finished the repair on his camper so he can retire.
Yep.
Exactly.
Finish it just in time.
You have to stay here until it's ready.
How long you been here, 7 years? He's been
So it'll be
working on it
7
for
years this
6.5.
month, yeah, at the end of the month.
I wasn't working on it for 7 years.
At least one,
Sure
maybe
felt
two.
like, it sure felt like
Yeah,
it.
felt like it.
Although my wife now wants me to build a shed, so we'll figure.
Okay, Councilman Reed, any comments?
Not tonight.
Okay, I have a couple that I'll make. Work did begin on our incubator project this week. So you'll see the big EDA sign, grant sign up front was put up, I think, Monday morning. And so that project is in process. A thank you, we're gonna put some new benches at Spring Lake Park. Mr. Taylor's class from Streator High School built those for us. So it's a nice way to give the high school students some experience and benefits the community as well as them. Last council meeting last month, our regular meeting, we had a presentation on the brownfields grants. They sent me the downtown survey that they promised this afternoon, so it did not make the agenda because it came too late. But there is a QR code and an online survey available. That'll be discussing downtown improvement opportunities through that consultant in preparation for phase 1 for the brownfields assessments. Okay, and then our third ambulance is officially up and ready to go. Information, so that's good news. And just a reminder, we are emergency service, so we will take you to the emergency room. A transfer is out of our realm at this time, so I know I saw some rumblings of complaints on how long someone had to wait for a transfer, but that is an outside company. It is not the city of Streator that is doing those, so that, I have nothing further. Thank you again, Dave, congrats. And I will request a motion and second to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Okay, Councilman Shire with the motion and Councilman Danko with the second. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Danko,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Shire,
Aye.